You're going with the hood up.
No, not that.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about our favourite strict presses.
That channel? What channel?
Sorry. Welcome back to the non-democratic Republic of Sika. Today we're talking about the Republic's favourite strict presses. So there's a bit of discussion around this. To be honest, we were going to just do weightlifter strict presses or weightlifters with really strong strict presses. But there's a few other athletes and a few other sports that kind of have strong pressing athletes. Obviously, powerlifting and strongman. And we couldn't really leave those lads out. So this is by no means
Strict.
the biggest... Yeah, by no means strict. It's also by no means like the biggest strict press in the world, best strict press in the world, best strict press compared to body weight. We honestly don't care.
No, but if you feel like we've left out someone...
Yeah, do put it down below.
Please put it down below and say, oh my God, I can't believe you didn't include so-and-so. I can't believe you didn't see Donald Duck's 107 for 10 in 1988. But I encourage you to put that below. I implore you, put your egregious, aggressive thoughts below.
I beg of you.
It's not for any form of algorithm pushing, okay? It's honestly not.
No.
I want you to honestly express. We want you to honestly express your thoughts.
This is a safe space.
It's not safe for you, but it's worth putting it down there. Who's up first?
Up first we have, without a doubt, my favourite, Dmitry Klokov.
Turn off the audio. Oh no, leave on the audio. Why is Klokov your favourite?
Klokov is just my favourite for a host of reasons, but...
I'll take two, if that's okay.
So the first reason is just the aesthetics of his jerk.
That'll do, that's good.
His jerk is so fucking powerful, and his jerk is so powerful because of a gigantic strip press. So the heaviest we found today in our quick internet trawl was 165, but he has loads and loads and loads of very heavy strict presses. So Garth, for your own watching enjoyment here, we have 162 kilos,
okay,
power clean plus strict press at the Dmitry Klokov Power Weekend.
I thought there was a 170-ish, 170 plus strict press. Now, not to say that the 160s weren't impressive, but I thought he'd done in the 170s. So we've seen Klokov push press 225 kilos very smoothly. And there is just no doubt a huge reason Klokov is such a big jerk is because he's a mad fucking strict press.
Yeah.
So here's 162 at his Power Weekend. Remember, that was so big.
Yeah. I think the other reason it's very likely there's a heavier video out there is because these videos are from recently when Klokov wasn't a full-time athlete. Granted it's 2015, but
that was smooth.
This is that was so good.
His elbows are so fucking big. There's no bigger elbows in the game.
No. And now we have 165.
It's the biggest we could find.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So nice.
You know what the best part about Klokov's strict press is? It's honest to God strict press. It's an actual strict press. It's not like a press. You know, some people like that video of Miso and Ilya having a strict press off and they were push pressing everything. If your heels leave, I don't mind a little bit of upper body bend, a little bit of teeny bit of hip instability, I'll get by with it. But if your knees move or your ankles or your heels come off the floor, it's not a strict press.
No.
It's not. And Klokov is so strict.
The fact that he sits there for so long as well.
Yeah.
And goes, the worst, there's a few presses coming up later where it's walk it out from the rack and it's like this.
Yeah.
And then go, and they have a fairly severe, stretch shortening cycle to get into it. But Klokov's is super smooth. Up next, another weightlifter.
Yeah.
Heavier weight class, and that's Mart Seim, or Mart Seim. This is 150 for 6. There's 140 for 8 or 140 for 10 as well.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
I actually think he tore his pec benching, and that's why he wasn't in the Europeans this year.
No way.
Yeah, I think I think it was happening, benching 100 kilos or something.
Interesting comparison across benching to strict pressing is Klokov has apparently bench pressed 230 kilos.
Fucking hell. The Russians used to say, or people used to say that the Russians used to say that you had to be able to bench your best snatch. You should be able to do your best snatch. So
206 to 230.
Yeah.
Bit of a
discrepancy. Well, obviously in excess is fine.
Yeah.
150 for 6 is mental. So I've seen Mart Seim do something like 240 pause jerk or something like that. We've definitely seen him clean jerk 250 something in competition. I think it might have been 2017 maybe at the Worlds when the Iranians were booing him because Salami kept pressing out all these jerks, who I bet doesn't have a huge strict press, and I bet that's why he was pressing out all these jerks. So Mart Seim is a phenomenal presser. Snatch, we did a video before on him and he snatched, not been great, but his clean and jerk is very, very, very good, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons his jerk is so good is because he has a legitimate strict press. Who's next?
Up next, we're going to delve into the world of powerlifting.
Okay.
And now, to be fair, after the issue where we tried to annex a powerlifting state with Sika a few months ago, Sika and powerlifting, it's all good now again.
It's all gravy.
It's all gravy again. So up first, we have like one of my favourite powerlifters to watch at the moment. I think phenomenally talented athlete, a guy called Shane Hunt. You've probably heard of him. Shane is doing 140 for a double here. I think it's like 137 for a double. It's around 300 pounds. And these are just good, honest to God, strict presses.
Jesus, I have not heard of Shane Hunt. I've heard you mention him before, but I know nothing about him. But 200 pounds, 136 kilos. One thing you'll see about strict pressers, big strict pressers, and they're actually strict, is they'll have a huge upper back. Because if you think about it, the eccentric portion has to be under control. And obviously there's a huge amount of lats, rear delts, mid back, mid traps, all involved in that. And his back is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's all natural, right? Obviously.
No.
Are you giving him a pass for the?
I'm giving him a pass on everything.
On the knee
on
sleeves.
the elbow sleeves.
Yeah, on the elbow sleeves.
I actually will, because I think when we look at every lifter today outside of weightlifters, they're all wearing elbow sleeves.
Yeah.
So it's okay. We don't call people for it when they're squatting.
I feel like you should though when you're strict pressing. I don't know why. Maybe it's just from the weightlifting side of things.
It's hard to know as well. Like when you're here, obviously statically, right? There's a bit of tension built up there.
Yeah.
But you get most of the knee sleeve stuff in like the dynamic loading of it.
Yeah.
There's a bit of extra tension here, I suppose.
Yeah. It could be just for owies.
It could be, but it's very likely just to get like an overtraining effect.
Yeah.
Moving on and staying within the semi-Sika state of powerlifting, we have Larry Wheels.
Oh yeah. I was like, that's not Larry.
So this is Larry. This is a PR as of 2018 for him, and it's 425 pounds, and I have no idea what that is in actual weight.
I think 440 is 200 kilos. So
okay,
I'm almost certain he's done 200 kilos.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Larry is fucking enormous there. Holy fuck.
Larry is yacked.
So I think this is 190 kilos, I want to say.
Okay.
So obviously he gets a lot of reflex on the quite significant dip. Now obviously he can't rack a barbell, hence him being so yacked. But I feel like it's not a press, but it's incredibly impressive.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the ones where it's like not strict.
It's incredibly impressive.
I got it.
I was just making sure.
I thought it landed.
Yeah.
But we needed a bit more of a time.
I just got no.
But if you see there, like Larry unracks it and it's at nose height.
Yeah.
That is very, very high, but he gets away with it. Both for the fact that he's so incredibly yacked, and for the fact that it's 190 kilos or whatever it is.
Like if you do something with that kind of, I'm going to say egregious, but maybe that kind of like not as like strict with the rules of what a lift should be, with a lighter weight that a lot of people could do, then you can call bullshit.
Yeah.
But then when you do it with a weight, I feel like where it's like 190 kilos, where basically less than 0.0001% of the world could do it, maybe 0.0001%, I feel like you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Because no one else can really do it.
I feel like if I picked up 80 kilos and did that, I would get rightly crucified.
Yeah.
And dead fucking right too.
Dead right.
Right.
I'm sure Larry's done 200 like that. A press. I feel that's fair.
I have no doubt.
I feel that's fair to call it a press, because it's not a push press, but it's certainly not a strict press.
No. And also Larry's done incredibly heavy seated strict presses.
Yeah. He's also done a 225 kilo snatch grip push press.
That's incredible. Up next, to leave powerlifting behind and go to even bigger and even fatter athletes, we have strongman. And Gerf, who do we have up first for the strongman?
Eddie Hall. I was going to do a Northern English accent, but I was like, I better not, just in case he messed it up. So I didn't realise he did 216 kilo.
216 kilo.
I nailed it. Bloodziak. That's not Eddie.
No.
And, Eddie has a really nice push press as well. So obviously the Eddie and Tour controversy is quite funny, but I watched the video, the competition where their initial beef started, where they were doing a push press, you know, with the kind of like the wheelbarrow handles, the leverage handle, where it's like here, but it's I think it was a car, might have been a car or something, and they could push press, but you couldn't push jerk, and they called it not a rebender. They had a name for when your knees bent back under, but we called it a push jerk. So they couldn't push jerk it, but you could push press it. And Eddie has a very, very, very athletic looking push press, in fairness to him. Yeah. At that event.
This is a very good strict press. Obviously, it's on an axle. This is just nice. Like, it goes back to the old timey weightlifting, like clean and press.
Yes.
Where they're like really leant back. It's probably the most obvious example of that we have today. Like where someone really is inclined back and it's almost like a bench press rather than a strict press. But it's 216 kilos.
I wonder are they allowed push pressers, because they all seem to be strict pressing, so maybe it is just press.
Yeah.
That's some fucking crowd. You know, that's the one thing you'll get with strongman is people aren't going to go watch a weightlifting competition if it's on their town, except for that one in Norway, the one we were watching where people did go, but no one's going to go watch a powerlifting competition, but everyone will go. If there was a strongman competition on in Cork City, people are St. Sikarsburg, people would go and watch if there were signs, because you'd be like, oh, strongman, it's like an entertainment thing. Yeah. And everyone could appreciate how strong they were, because they're really big. The lifts are really awkward, and the things they're lifting are really big as well, you know. So
it's almost a circus-like atmosphere.
Yeah. But they're all in coke and gear.
You do have to love the little t-shirt with the tied up sleeves.
I don't understand the reasoning.
I think it's so they get more grip on their shoulders.
Okay. Usually the t-shirt would give you more grip.
So if I was to say, Gerf, or if I was to ask, if I was to tell you a question,
go on.
Who's your favourite strict presser? Who would it be?
Out of all these?
Because I'll tell you who mine is.
Klokov.
Mine is Eoin Gerfling Murphy.
What?
Here we have to put this in.
My 120.
Unsolicited. Gerf's 120.
This is still one of my favourite lifts I've ever done.
120 weeks ago.
120 strict press.
And a 120 strict press.
I haven't strict press since then.
You don't need to. You never need strict press again.
I need to do a little bit because my shoulders were not up to a lot of snatching recently, but
the back is looking thick.
That was because doing shitloads of pressing. I had no. My goal was 110 in my little book.
Okay.
And then I was like, geez, I could definitely do 120, and 120 is always going to be impressive forever. Like when I'm 70, I'm like, I used to press 120.
Yeah.
So
and nobody will believe you.
No one believes me. That's the problem. So I'll whip out Instagram. I remember this day actually because I had it because it wasn't a weightlifting day. Obviously, it was just a day I was doing some pressing, and I'd left my gear in the gym and I was going to do it at home because I had to go home. And then I just started warming up with like 60, and then I literally went like 60, 80, 100, 120 because I was like, it's on. I have to do it now.
It's a great strict press.
It's a great strict press.
Not as long a pause here as some of the more.
That's very strict.
Ones. No, it's very strict.
That's 120. Very strict. Like.
No heels rising. No bouncing on the feet. It's strict as fuck. It is legit. But I did lie earlier. Klokov is definitely my favourite strict.
No, that's fair enough. I didn't think I would be your favourite.
Who's your favourite?
Probably my own because I'm so happy with that strict press. It's still one of my favourite lifts, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Thanks very much for watching. If you would like a gigantic strict press or a gigantic bench press, you can go to the link below. It'll bring you to our website. It'll bring you to the 8-week press program. That will have you pressing twice a week with accessory work as well as that. It gets everyone PBs.
Yeah, it does. There's not a lot of people with strong presses.
No.
Doing the research for this video, Dara did the research, and there's just not a lot of people with huge strict presses. Now, there's a few people with huge strict presses, but if you were typing like big back squats or whatever, try to find back squats, there'd be an endless search of names.
Oh my god, yeah.
But not a lot of people have a press, and it's kind of something we see a lot with when we do our live streams. I'll do a poll just to make people feel bad about themselves, and I'll be like, can you deadlift 200 kilos, or can you press body weight, or can you squat double body weight? And most of the time 3/4 of the people's answers are no. And a huge amount of people's problems would be fixed in a very roundabout way, but not a roundabout way, but in a very like all-encompassing way where you'd never even have some of these issues if you just got a lot stronger. for a lot of our athletes in particular as well, a load of our weightlifters watching, fellas watching, if you could just squat more, if you could deadlift more and press more without inhibiting your training, without inhibiting your athletic endeavors, I promise you so much of your stuff would just be a whole lot easier. Like, it's Sika's strength for a reason. It's not like Sika athletic endeavors. It's Sika's strength, just being bullshit strong. Honestly, just makes so much things so much better in everyone watching. There's not one person here watching, one sport, powerlifting, whatever. Obviously, powerlifters have it, and it's easy for them to be defined with their goals around the big lifts. But for everyone else, like, so many of your issues, you'd be so much better at your sport if you were bullshit stronger, bar not gaining a shitload of body weight. It's definitely something we've been thinking about for a while, and it just becomes more apparent all the time, where if you were like, oh shit, if you were just way stronger, this would be so much easier for you. Simply done, but obviously not easy.
No. Thanks, guys.